Welcome to OWAD today. I'm Sophia, piloting to the Universe of Chinese. Let's continue unpacking ocean/industrial age concepts that first translated by Japanese scholars and borrowed over conveniently into Chinese. And that roughly happened almost 200 years ago. And that's the first time when um, East meet the West. I should say met the West. All right, 政治 is today's concept, and it's a big one because it means politics. Um, as a young mind, when I first started schooling, right, first time I came across, we were just learned the term 政治. And in fact, in China, we often say 讲政治. You have to talk about politics. So politics always like top of the conversation, not economy, but politics. That was very confusing because politics is so abstract, especially for a young person. Like you don't really have much of a say of politics, but that somehow becomes like older, especially man's favorite thing to talk about. But I never thought about what 政治, why that means politics, or what actually politics is until today. So I'm glad to unpack that. Why, and try to imagine why Japanese scholars, out of all the Chinese characters, pick this two, 正 and 治, to make up the concept of politics, what politics is about. So for them to successfully translate that into Japanese/Chinese now, they have to first understand their, to kind of incorporate their understanding of politics. So from this translation, you can almost see the definition of what politics is about. Even if in English, right, people just use politics to represent anything that's, vaguely is about that. But for it to work in another culture, that culture have to take this concept and almost project their understanding to the best ability to map out the meaning, to almost sort of create a definition of what politics is about in as brief as the two characters. Think about it, it's quite challenging. And I think our scholars back then did a great job because after I unpack, I'm sold and I appreciate their insightful understanding of what politics is about, an insightful understanding of what these Chinese characters are about, why they are a good, almost like the East and West conversation of what politics is about. Okay, let's go in there. 正 by itself, it already means political. It's something related to power. Okay, two parts. The left side is a sound maker, yes, true, but it also denotes half of the meaning. It means correct. And before 正 or squarely or correct, square means there's no slanting. It's straightforward. You're correctly positioned. Before that, the meaning is made of this horizontal line means horizon or the skyline, like top of the frame, it could also be the sky. Then you have a foot symbol. Chinese abstraction of the right foot, exactly. This is a big toe, pinky, the rest of the toes, and this is so, it looks like a cactus, but that's how Chinese abstract our 5-toe foot symbol into 3 toes. Okay, this 3 toes, when the middle 3 toes are facing toward either horizon or skyline, means you're orienting your foot toward that direction. So this by itself, almost like you are correctly positioned or oriented. You're not distracted, not sidelined, but sidetracked, that you know where you're going, you're purposeful. So that's the left side. The right side, 3-finger hand symbol. That's how Chinese, when we draw out a 5 hand, that's a special meaning. That means that character is about some hand motion, but one will create a concept uh, incorporating hand symbol to make some other meaning. It got simplified into three-finger hand symbol, right hand particularly, because Chinese is the first perspective language that you're almost like a computer screen, right? You're reaching from the bottom of screen like this. That's your right hand. Holding vertical line, horizontal line, that's originally it means forecasting tool, not forecasting, like a divine decoding tool. Fortune telling, I guess that's the best word. Fortune telling tool held in a hand. Eventually, that fortune telling got weakened. That particular kind of tool got weakened. It's simply hand holding some sort of tool. And this hand holding tool, humans, when we hold tools, we are amplified of our power, right? Whatever we want to do, it's not just based on our own limited physical existence. We can amplify by tap into some bigger thing than us. So hand holding tool eventually means it's almost can be understood as somebody who is empowered to be able to control the people. And this was associated with kind of a slavery-ish, like you can control the people by holding some tools in your hand. So hand holding something almost like power. You have something in your hand to control people. So for me, I'm reading this two-part as the left side is you're orienting people toward the same horizon. You're aligning their mind, their purpose. And that's equivalent to today's propaganda or PR or storytelling. So you're telling the same story, or the best story you can tell, so that all the people living under your governance are oriented the same way. So in other words, it's mind control, right? And the right-hand side is physical control. You control their behavior almost. If they don't comply, if they break the law, I shouldn't do the quotations thing, but they're supposed to be some boundaries. And if step out of the line, you have to punish them. So the two are two sides of what political is about. You control the mind, you control the body, and also you can regard it as the left side, the mind control is almost like vision, if we put it in positive words, right? And the right side is order, law and order. And together, we can almost kind of map it to the carrot and stick imagery as well. The stick is the punishment. The carrot is the incentivization. And this incentivization is, orienting people's mind to set up their value, right? So that people reaching toward the same goal get rewarded, things like that. So in any case, you can view this, only these few strokes, we can pack in so many meanings in that. And that's Chinese zhong. That's how Chinese view what political is about. By itself, it almost means politics. But okay, Japanese scholars add the second part to the story. It's not only this controlling people, mind or body or behavior. The second character, I translate as a Garvin, and we talked about that before. It's about water control. So the left side means water, people control. The right character means water control. Because, okay, Chinese are agrarian society, and to be able to control water, to direct them, the volume, the direction, the seasoning of the water was critical, and probably still today is critical to have a successful harvesting year, something like that, right? So water control almost serves as the benchmark of government competence, of what public service they can provide to people living on the land who in agrarian society rely on the government to provide good water control. So water control made of the water symbol on the left side. The right side is the enjoyment. Okay, so it's a spoon or ladle on top of a pot. Originally, it was a pot, and eventually extends into the mouse symbol. So feeding soup into the mouth or scooping the soup out of the pot, however we read the symbols, is something enjoyable. And enjoyable plus water simply means make the water enjoyable for us, right? And ladle is a water control, almost, right? A small scale water control is your food, the water in your food. You can control. You can eat whenever, however, right? However much. That level of control, you want to apply that to water. And this is not tap water. This is water flowing in nature. So water control, this kind of a civil engineering thing, then marked as the essential function or beginning, the foundational function of what government is about, and eventually extend to all the other services and the functions of the government. So 正 and 治, now I can see Japanese scholars almost view it as a give and take. You take away people's power by orienting their mind, controlling, punishing, stick holding their behavior. So people gave up something. And then the take would be you then would provide such public services to people. So Japanese scholars actually add the second part of what the contemporary politics is about. It's not only you control people, but you have to serve the people as well. Versus Chinese 正 is only about control. And 治 is this civil engineering water control thing. All right. So here, dinosaur. I don't exactly know how to read this poster. We know the three colors, right? The three colors are shared in the major color themes for multiple countries. And then dinosaurs, I mean, something already extincted. So I don't know how to read this one, but somebody put it about as a social commentary of what today's politics, how that make people feel. Right. Thank you for your time. See you another day.